The ceasefire between Israel and Hamas is set to expire this weekend unless a deal can be reached. Here's Gary Lane with that story and more from the CBN Newsroom. Gary?
Andrew, Hamas is reportedly gearing up for more warfare if the ceasefire isn't extended, which could happen unless negotiators can quickly work out a deal to keep it going. Paul Strand has that story from Jerusalem.
The Gaza ceasefire is set to end this weekend unless negotiators can quickly work out an agreement to continue it. Israel is sending a team to talks in Cairo to try to work out such an agreement.
We are ready to make the framework longer in a return to release of more hostages.
America's top Mideast negotiator, Steve Witkoff, is headed to the region to push for extending the ceasefire, and he's clear that Hamas cannot remain in the key areas because of its terrorism.
There's no room for Hamas in Gaza, in the West Bank. You can see from their actions that they haven't earned that right to be there.
Hamas is refusing to disarm. Sa'ar says Israel can't put up with that.
This is, from our point of view, total unacceptable.
Israel's defense minister agrees Hamas must no longer be allowed to govern or have the means to fight in Gaza.
Hamas will not remain in control of Gaza, neither for civil matters nor military. It will not be because it cannot be.
Katz also says Israel won't withdraw from the vital Philadelphia corridor, which Hamas used to smuggle in weapons.
The IDF is maintaining a defined buffer zone in Gaza.
Israel's long-term goal is to prevent Hamas from having the weapons to again attack the Jewish nation. But a Wall Street Journal report says Hamas is ready to return to guerrilla warfare in Gaza if the ceasefire ends. It's recruited thousands of new troops, has appointed new commanders, and has turned unexploded ordnance into deadly IEDs to blow up Israeli troops. And in the U.S., a leading U.S. congressman is now making a change on the area commonly known as the West Bank. He says his committee staff should now call it Judea and Samaria, the biblical names for that part of Israel. House Foreign Affairs Committee Chairman Brian Mast writes in a memo to the committee, "Jewish roots in this region span centuries, and we must recognize that fact in both word and deed." He adds Congress needs to recognize Israel's rightful claim to the cradle of Jewish civilization. On the ground, at least 10 people were wounded in a ramming attack at a bus stop in central Israel Thursday, apparently carried out by a Palestinian who was living illegally in Israel. Israel is concerned about an outbreak of terror attacks in Judea and Samaria. The Muslim fasting month of Ramadan begins as early as tonight. Often there has been an upsurge in terror attacks during that time. Paul Strand, CBN News, Jerusalem.